And I don't wanna think about it. Yeah. I know that you think about it.
There's a place in between what's love and what's fake, what's real and what's straight, giving up and okay. There's a place in between where you from and today, and she comes in a phase, in a rush. Hey, I know that you think about it. I know that you think about it. Look, shorty, can you send me God's blessing? Only thing to keep me from the stress. You the one that heal me from the battles. Fighting for the keys to my castle. Fighting for the keys to my riches. I've been taking on the competition. Early morning winning my audition. And you compete with that. You the early rise to my morning sun. Shooting stars of the bubble gum. I'm lost in yo everything. No drips, hip swing.
OSOS, yes, I'm on some other shit, yes. OSOS, yes, I'm on some other shit, yes. I'm on some other shit.
We on some other shit. Comprende? Yeah.
What up, what up, what up? It's on some other shit. It's your boy Joe Prophet. The lovely Monet Banks. We're giving you opinions back with facts. Straight like that. And let's get to it. Let's go. What we got on the menu today, man?
Hey man, how you feeling, man? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you feeling you feeling like you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Guys, this is episode 49, Producing Love. We got a big guest on the show with us. Variety is the spice of life, y'all. So we're going to bring y'all a little bit something different. Joining us on the show today is the amazingly talented producer, Tahoe 404, straight out the ATL Shawty. You know what I'm saying? She in this thing, man. She going to let y'all know what's going on. How you feeling?
All right, here it is. What's going on? I was like, hey.
Okay. Now we lost you there for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's
going on, man?
Not much. Chilling. I'm glad to be here with y'all this Sunday afternoon. God,
we happy to have you here. What's going on out there in the ATL? What's shaking out there?
Oh, yeah, shoot, a lot shaking. You know what? It's a lot. I actually went to my first Hawks game last night. Can y'all believe it?
Okay.
My very first. I know.
How you an ATLein? You ain't been to the Hawks game.
Let's just break down right now. Hold on. Hold on. How old are you, Tahoe?
32.
32 years of living. Mm-hmm. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Am I correct?
Born and raised.
Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. And that was your first Hawks game.
That was my first Hawks game.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? She had to step out there, so ain't nothing wrong with that.
At least you win. Say that. You know what I mean? 32 years, like, come on. I know you love them. I know you love them Hawks. I can hear. I know you love them, but man, your first
niggas ain't always had money, man, like that.
Oh, hey, okay.
So I mean, it's a lot of junk in Atlanta that I ain't get to do yet, just cause the way we came up. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we missed, you know what I'm saying, that we barely got to. So shit, we were lucky enough to go to sit.
All right. I mean, that's the perfect lead in to the conversation. So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We about to talk to the people, you know what I'm saying? Tahira. Let the people know. No, so who is Tahira exactly? You know, give the people a little bit of your background. You grew up in Atlanta. Where'd you go to school? You know, like how many siblings you have? Just give us a quick rundown of your growing up.
Yes, absolutely. So for those who don't know, my real name is Tahira for the black folk. But, you know, my father is from St. Thomas, so my daddy named me. You know what I'm saying? So Tahira stands for one who is lovely and one who is pure. So a lot of Muslim people, a lot of Arabic people, you know what I'm saying, ask me am I Muslim or whatever, because they recognize, you know, Tahira is common on, you know, that nationality. My mama born and raised in Atlanta. I got an older sister named Cece. We 13 years apart, two different daddies. But it's me, my sister. We grew up on the west side of Atlanta, man. My people grew up Delmar Lane, Lawton Street, you know what I'm saying? Dud High School, Dixie Hill. That's the spot, you know what I'm saying? That's the hood, you know. My mama, she was in the nightlife. I find it interesting. She passed on early when I was 6 years old, so I didn't get to grow up with my mama like my sister did. However, you know, a lot of my family tell me that, man, you look just like Lynn. You know what I'm saying? Man, you just like your mama. My mama was a bartender down there at Lakewood Amphitheater at the Omni. Shout out to the Omni. That's that old Atlanta shit. But she, you know, she used to work there at the Olympics, like all of the concerts that used to come to the city. You know what I'm saying? She threw the best New Year's Eve party. So she had that nightlife on lock. So I guess that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I just naturally flow into that just based off of what she used to do. You know what I'm saying? So we moved around a lot because nigga ain't had no money for real. Like, niggas was moving, you know what I'm saying? Niggas was getting evicted. Niggas was, you know what I'm saying, hiding cars. We were hiding cars, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, so, but we moved around a lot. All my family on the west side. And when we moved from the west side, we stayed on the south side. So, moved to the south side. Then we went to, I've literally been to all the major metro Atlanta areas. Literally.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel? You feel like you're more well-versed and you know, like, how to get around? Because, you know, like, sometimes people, even still, they from the city, they act like they can't get around their city without GPS.
Right. And the thing, that's true. And the thing about that is, like, we know the back roads, we know the side streets, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's weird because we're considered locals now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. Because when I went to Fort Valley down in the country, we were like, man, these local, man, they tripping. You know what I'm saying? These the niggas, them the folk that stayed in Fort Valley. Like, it's like Fort Valley, though. But now that the city is so diverse and ain't nobody from Atlanta no more for real. It's like the few of us that's still here, it's like we're locals now. Like,
yeah.
So, like, what does that really mean? So, like you said, ain't nobody really from Atlanta no more.
Oh, man.
There's also where you got a lot of outsiders,
a lot of transplants,
you know, coming in from different parts of the country, just, you know, settling in Atlanta. What's going down?
Yeah, I'm finding out it's a lot of us that want to move out there where y'all live. It's this.
We for sure got a nice time. That's for sure. I mean,
yeah.
But it was the pandemic that did that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because we were one of the only places that was really open. So people were taking advantage of that. People want to move around and go out to the clubs and enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And we was just letting all that little Corona split down here. So everybody was coming getting their little piece of it. You know what I mean?
And I think it's just more of the allure of being in a different city or a different, you know, space. It's like, you know, you get an opportunity to kind of be involved in some things. So it's like, and the grass, people think that the grass is greener when really it's about the same. So.
Right. I think I guess the real estate is a little bit better too. I'm not.
What? Over there. I remember, you know, when we came out there last time, we was, you know, kicking it in the ATL with y'all. Like, we took a little, you know, we was riding down different parts. The Decatur's really where I saw, you know, you could really get your bang for your buck as far as acquiring land and property and stuff like that. I was just like, damn, everybody got damn their acre over here looking like.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Big
lots.
Big lots.
It really is. It really is. It really is, though. That's true.
So, being from Atlanta, you know, there's a lot of versatility whenever there comes to making music or producing music. So describe a little bit about your journey leading up to you, you know, starting to make music and some of the influences that have inspired your journey along the way.
Bet. This is exciting. So I want to give a nod to music education. So my music journey started in middle school. Well, really before, you know, my daddy would tell me that he always knew that I was musically inclined. So he would buy me little instruments. Like, I had instruments that I wish I had now, but, you know, he would buy me African cowskin drums and rain sticks and guitars and anything that he could, you know, kalimbas. Like, he used to buy me all these things when I was younger, because I always had a natural grasp to rhythm and music and stuff like that. So in middle school, you know, I started band, playing the clarinet in the 6th grade.
All right.
Yeah, I did get the
clarinet.
Right. I got that's so shocking because folks be like, well, your mother was in the drum, you played the drum. I'm like, nope, clarinet. They're like, clarinet. I'm like, yeah. And one of the hardest one now. But middle school all the way up, I've stayed in band from middle school all the way up to university. I studied music in university. Of course, I was drum major in high school and in college as well. Shout out to Fort Valley State Blue Machine Marching Band. I served 4 years in that bit. You know what I mean?
Is that a historically Black college?
It is a HBCU.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Was y'all like that in sports? Or you know, y'all a good basketball team, football team?
We had our years, bro. Like basketball, the basketball team usually be straight.
The way you just looked in the sky.
You saw me. It was but you know, our conference was a smaller conference, so we had our years, bro. Like we got our football team. I was there. We had a good run. It kind of, you know, every HBCU had it up and down. You know how it is, man. So, but music from middle school all the way up to college. And being in marching band and symphonic band and studying music, studying different genres of music, studying classical music, studying scores. There's a thing called score analysis. So you have to take like masterpieces from Bach or Beethoven, and you'll have to study the chord structure, study like, you know, why they chose these notes or why they, you know what I'm saying? Just break down the literature. So being in
like
that,
everybody knows how to read music, right? So it's not like Drumline whenever Nick Cannon like snuck into the band and he didn't really know how to read music. It's not like that. It's like everybody is qualified.
Everybody qualified for the most part, but we had some of them too. Like the marching band, like a lot of folk be thinking the band folk be lame, but it's a lot of gangsters in the band, bro. We had a lot of street niggas. Lot of street niggas in the band, bro.
I just like to play music or you know, that are interested in understanding music. I mean, you can't really, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, I was about to ask a rhetorical question. I know y'all had drum majors. You ever thought about being a drum major?
Or like what is it? What do you have to be?
Oh, you was a drum major. Well, I was not listening.
I probably slid it in there fast.
Oh, okay. I need to see the
So what do you have to do to be a drum major? Like what level, you know, like what qualifies you as being that person?
I'm so glad you asked. So like becoming a drum major on a high school and even a collegiate level, that is the highest earned student-led position in the band. So you have your band staff, band director, drum major, section leaders, and the rest of the squad. So you're the liaison between your staff and the students. So you're the middleman kind of enforcing structure, standard. You kind of have to govern music rehearsals, teaching music, warming up the band, teaching everybody parts, doing the dance routine, showing the dance routine, making sure practice run effectively. When you out there on the field, you got to make sure everything is in line. You know what I'm saying? Everything runs smoothly.
I know they working. They was working, y'all.
The boss.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn sure. But how many? Wait a minute. How many drum majors is it? Because if I can remember, Drumline.
It's like 3, right?
Is it 3?
2 or 3?
Or 5?
That's a lot.
It could be anywhere from 1 to 10. You know, fam, you done had 10.
Oh wow.
So ideally you want to have 1 drum major per 100 students. So imagine how big fam you were back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's a look thing too. Like, you know, it might look better to have multiple drum majors. Really, you know, Southern only has 1. And Southern band is big. You know, most of your Big Ten schools like Ohio State, Duke, or, you know what I'm saying, some of your...
they ain't really drum majors, though.
That's what I'm saying.
But they are. See, there's a difference between more your predominantly white bands and then your HBCU band. Now, your predominantly white band, they don't have 4-5 drum majors. They have that 1. And that's usually called a field commander. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one that go on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's field commander.
Yeah, you're the field commander.
You feel me?
Right.
Drum major is just giving me HBCU vibes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all, you know what I'm saying?
That's the good.
Yeah.
Oh, that is you right there.
Oh yeah.
I'm like you say, I need to see some video of that bit. You know what I'm saying? And that
Bumblebee.
I need to see that bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna have to edit some of those into the post good. But yeah, okay. So literally out there just
running the
show, basically. Yes. So how you've acquired all this knowledge. So how has that translated into you being the producer that you are right now?
Man, it gets complicated. Like the passion is there. So, my passion for music has always been there. And that sometimes I run into a little bit of hiccup sometimes because I'm so passionate about it, creating a business from it. I'm a musician becoming a businesswoman, not the other way around. So you might have businessmen, businesswomen learning the craft of music or whatever, but they know how the business structure go. I'm on the other end of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the music, I know the craft, I know the music, but I'm learning the business. So my passion has always led me to do music-based things. A lot of people be like, man, you should be a band director. I'm not a huge fan of the school system. I would like to create my own niche of music education on my terms, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I have some things in the works to pursue that, but you never know. Maybe the older I get, I might be in somebody middle school, somebody high school. You know what I mean? Teaching.
It's
right. But I knew like I wanted to become a music producer. Mm-hmm. Ever since I was young, me and my cousin used to always do rap battles. We used to get together, freestyle. We used to bootleg how to record, make beats. So I always had like the intuitiveness to get from here to on tape. Like we used to dub over cassette tapes when we were little.
Yeah, put the little tissue paper on the tape.
You know what I'm saying? We used to overdub all this shit, man. But I started really taking it seriously towards my senior year of college. I knew that I wanted to get an internship. Once you finish your last year, you got to have some internship credit. So we didn't really have a strong music production program at Fort Valley. So I had to kind of create my own opportunity, you know what I'm saying, by looking online for internships in Atlanta at professional music studios. I ain't never been in there. I never knew how that worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wanted my opportunity to be like, okay, when I get there, I don't want this to be my first time in it bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I at least want to know something, at least know what the etiquette is, where things at. So, and then my studio manager was younger than me. So I don't mind learning from people that's younger than me, but everything that I do know, because there's somewhere I want to be at. Like, I want to have my own studio, my own label, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I don't know, man. I said, man, I'm gonna do the music jump for real, like producing. So like I'll be in my dorm room with my homeboy from the band. We'll be in there fucking up stuff, man. We didn't know what we were doing, but
just doing something.
That's what we got started.
Like, as a producer and being a producer and starting at the stage that you started, like when it comes to the financial side, not necessarily the business, but straight up on the financial side of of being a producer, like how does a producer really get money in the music game?
That's a good question.
All right, so in 2022 going forward, there are do's and don'ts, but now you can create your own way of getting money. So I kind of looked up to, when I was coming up, like I said, I'm 32 years old. So I'm looking at the Diddy's, the Jermaine Dupri's, you know what I'm saying? Like back then you had to physically know somebody. You couldn't just DM a nigga and be like, hey, this is what I got going on. Or you might go viral and then they be like, hey, y'all, hey, pull up. I'm going to send you da-da-da-da. Or they reach out to you. So back then, you had to know somebody. You had to be born in there or grandfathered in, or you had to get your ass out there on foot and find these offices, send your junk in, get the email address, not email address, but that physical address, send your junk in, whatever. But making money, what I'm working on now is my brand. Like your brand is where you gonna make your money. Like I'm reading this book right now that
you got on right now. Speaking of brand, I see you rocking that thing. Yeah.
So I recently got this book, and this is by Donald Pasman. They call this the industry Bible. So all you need to know about the music business, if y'all don't got this book, get this book. I love
what's the name of that book, Tahoe?
All you need to know about the music business.
All you need to know about the music business.
So it don't matter what. So it don't matter what angle you come in at. If you want to do live shows, entertainment, or you don't know music at all, but you know you want to tie music into your filming, into your whatever, there are ways that you have to go about getting music and getting paid from it. Like music is like real estate, it's property, it's stock. So my intellectual property or my ideas can be monetized, but I have to go through the necessary steps in order to get paid. So I have to register with performing rights organizations. So every time y'all play my music, I get the proper cut, or I get a part of organizations that go out and find the royalties for me. You can get it from royalties, upfront sales. Now you want to do merch. Now you want to do other partnerships. Because there's so many different streams. Like music money is slow money. When you ain't nobody for real, whatever, you ain't got a name that just popping like that. So for me, I'm working on my brand. Like I'm working on building a brand that way when artists look at me, they can say, oh, she got her shit together. So if she say, I want $1,200 for a song, they not looking at me like, girl, I don't see $1,200 worth.
They understand the value. They see the value.
Though you working on the presentation.
You set the bar.
I'm working on the value. So like with y'all podcasts and exposures and things like that, it's like, oh, okay, I can associate with this producer because she out here moving, like she got connects, your connections and your relationships too. Yeah.
No, I mean that's shit. That
makes sense. I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta creating your own, like building that network and building your brand. So like if somebody is coming to you and they like, I need a Tahoe beat, like what does that sound like? What are your musical influences or your sound influence whenever we're talking about like your particular style or your brand of beats or music?
Oh man. So just from feedback from other people, they would tell me that they like my drums. Now that might be obvious because you're a drum major, so the drums, or you in the band, so your drums. Like I've always been a fan of percussion, like the drums, the congos, the bells, the things that go in between the beat. It just, I don't know what that is. It might just be the island side of me or whatever, but shit, that I'm very versatile though. It's hard because I know music. Like if somebody come to me and say I want an 80s type beat, like an old school Janet Jackson, I know how to go and create that. I know how the drums sound, what were the details that made an 80s sound. Like, did the drums have reverb on it? Was it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's that style? Like, what instruments were used in the 80s? You want to create that sound based on that research. So it's like, boom, you ask me that, you want a country record? I can get you a country record sound. Like, my shit really, like, on the soul side, because I was raised on a lot of funk, a lot of disco. My mama had hella vinyl records downstairs. My dad being from the islands, I had a lot of reggae influence. You know what I'm saying? And being in marching bands, so those live horns, that live instrumentation, and how that sounds. Like when I first started and I got around professionals, they was like, I could tell you was in the band because the way your beat sound, you have all your instruments up front. And it's like, I want everybody to hear all these melodies I got in here, but my drums wasn't knocking like that. And as I continue to work, which is why it's important for producers to network and get in the physical space instead of behind the screen talking about, oh, I do this by myself. Well, what feedback are you getting? Like, you doing everything yourself. That might sound good to say, but you ain't getting
better with a team.
Yeah, you want those other opinions. So, but my style is very versatile, man. Like,
Let me ask you this, Tahoe. Who? So you talked about, you spoke about how you like reggae music and stuff like that. I mean, who's your biggest influence in reggae? Like, who's your favorite reggae artist?
Off top, I say Steel Pulse, Bob Marley, of course. But my dad.
I thought you were gonna say him first, but
First of all,
time
out. You asked that question like you know a whole bunch of reggae artists, and
he probably do.
He don't. That's why whenever you said the person you said, he was like, okay.
You know she gonna be mad about that.
You don't know.
All right, man. Don't make me start.
You do not know.
Don't make me show you my reggae background.
Boy,
this ain't about me. It's about this is about Tahoe, man.
I'm just saying you.
Tahoe, man. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for Tahoe. This is about Tahoe. Man.
Y'all so funny, man.
Oh man.
But like Steel Pulse, Peter Tosh, man, Bunny Wailer, it could go. You know what I'm saying? It can go, but yeah, bro. Like, so you can feel some of that. You can feel some of that in my junk. Like, of course, down south field, you got your southern soulful type junk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about that? The ATL influence.
Yes. So a lot of producers that I enjoy would be Jazzy Faye.
Hey, Jazzy Fizzle.
He's just fun. Like, I look like producers who really enjoy the craft of music. Like, he's fun. I could tell just from his personality. Like, Jermaine Dupri is one.
Yeah, so diff.
His vibe, like, he just know. You know what I'm saying? How you can channel a feeling or channel a mood or whatever you get by, and you know how to go in and create it or pull it out of an artist. His songwriting is dope. ATL, let me see. Dang.
I mean, it's producer wise though. I'm like producer wise, who is like.
Yeah.
I like.
What's my guy?
Who's the producer for the Dungeon Family? Oh, Zay, yeah, the young.
Zay Tobin Hard, Mike Will Hard.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mike Will.
Mike Will made it. Metro do you have a producer tag?
Oh yeah. But when they play it,
how that big go?
But when they play it, that's how it go.
Okay.
So anytime you hear that song I sent y'all, you will hear it in the beginning.
All right.
Tahoe on the beat, man.
But when they play it.
But when they play it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to just ask also before we kind of move on to the next topic, but just talking about some success and failures that you've had so far in your journey, and how would you say that is leading up to what you're working on now, how that has helped for your future projects?
Absolutely. I'm gonna start with the failures first, because like it's always some. Those things, don't define us, but they define moments and they define opportunities. You know what I'm saying? They are great learning opportunities. Like I said, I've been a part of a lot of functions, events, and opportunities to showcase. I'm kind of like a late bloomer for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you just really
yeah, I'm really am. And that took confidence building and being like introverted or to myself. It take a lot to get out there in front of folk. It take a lot to share, your work with people that you don't know. And even sometimes people that you do know. But what I have done and I feel like is successful for me is getting out of my own way, getting out of my own head and fearful thoughts about what the outcome is going to be. Like, I always would want the outcome to be the best outcome, of course.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes the failures are sometimes what helps us reach
that's what I'm saying.
It's
for sure.
Trying to figure it out.
And it's like, I hear people say, okay, this beat hard, but it's not, it is good, but it ain't, they're not giving me the response I feel like they need to be giving me on my junk. Like,
they fire flames.
They be like, hey, this hard, this all right. And it's like, nigga, all right, okay. But the critique and the criticism.
Maybe they don't know what to do with the beat, Tahoe, because every rapper ain't an artist. Every artist ain't a rapper. You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
That's
I mean,
true.
You know,
not everybody can make.
You know, because some people they could just hear something and they just know what to do with it, and some people they need something to be a certain type of way so they can get their da. And I get that too, but I feel like, man, you know, this is my opinion. I don't really, you know, it is what it is.
No, you snap.
You know, if I feel like if you know you're a true artist, like, you know, you could really dance on anything. You know, it really doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? You make the beat. You know what I mean?
Right.
The beat don't make you. You know what I mean? The beat it's just a foundation for you to build on.
And just to piggyback what you said, bro,
right.
Like, that can be intimidating sometimes. When you know that you have like a unique style or a vision, and it's like, I know I be in my room rapping and coming up with songs and concepts all the time, and then I might play it for artists or other people, and it's like, okay, that was dope, and I'm in my mind like, that's it. Like, you don't hear the vision.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like watching a Pharrell interview, shout out to him and Rick Rubin, two phenomenal contributors to the music. But he was like 96% of the artists don't even take the feedback or the ideas that I give them. That's Pharrell saying that artists be like, you know what I'm saying? So just knowing
that comfortability, they just are comfortable with making the music that they know how to make, instead of actually wanting to take the time to be expansive or learn about different styles.
That's the key of what a great producer. Like, you have producers and you have beat makers. That's always like the argument in the music industry now. You know what I'm saying? And we know that beat makers and producers. So in that opinion, real quick, like, beat makers are people who understand the software. Like, you learn how to use Fruity Loops, you learn how to use Cubase or Ableton, so you understand how to make beats by learning the software. And then you have producers who know how to take an idea that can come from a conversation, a dream, a melody, or whatever, and turn into a whole record. Like, the producer know how to take lyrics, put it on the proper song. You know, watching the process go from conception to product, like taking it from beginning to end. That's the talent and skill that I know I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the people that I watch coming up, like I said, they took it from Missy and Timbaland. You could take an artist out the street. You could take Chris Cross like JD did at the mall. They didn't even have no music out. He just looked at them and said, I know what to do with them niggas.
That's so crazy. You just act small and you like, boom.
They look like stars. Like, I don't know what it is about these dudes, but I want to do something with them. And he was able to provide the look, the flavor, the sound, because he knew that their look matched with this sound will make a situation happen. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of beat makers feel like we can blur those lines, but I'm here to say that you can't. Like, there's a certain distinct separation between the two. And even musicians, that's a whole nother department. Like, you got musicians. Musicians can make great producers. Musicians can make great songwriters. But beat makers don't necessarily know how to be a musician. Beat makers don't necessarily know how to be a producer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we always talking about, you know, rapping versus artists or whatever. So recently, I believe it was Complex magazine. They were saying that they crowned 21 Savage as the best rapper alive.
Right.
What do you think about that?
That's interesting. That's my first thought, and it makes me think I didn't dig too much into it. So if you know what I'm saying, what do you know any of the supporting details about that? Like, what
article? Who
what were they looking at? What did they judge?
They were saying based off of like the evolution of his style and cadence, you know, feeding into this most recent album with him and Drake, and just like
okay.
Was that just paid promo? You know, you can do that these days. You know, you can just really just pay people to just
write articles and say anything about you.
Tell them I'm the greatest ever, bro.
So
y'all are saying that's not even close. We're not. I
don't even think it's really debatable. You know what I mean? But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I don't think I've ever heard anybody opinionate that.
Yeah,
I didn't one of the greatest rappers ever. They don't even talk about him in the top 5, 10, nothing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of and heard a lot of people, you know, suck their teeth at that, just in general, not that specific article.
I mean, you were from Atlanta. In
Right.
Atlanta, are they saying when they mention top 5 rappers, do they bring up 21 Savage over Andre 3000, over Big Boy, over anybody in the Dungeon Family, over shit? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let me think. Like it's too many. You know what I mean? Before you name this guy, but you know,
we got to look at the generation. Like the generational thing plays a huge part. Now, is 21 Savage the best rapper alive for this generation? Let's be critical about this generation of music. Then you might be, they might have a strong point.
And he's still in the Jeezy in that era. You know what I mean? Like I can't even put him over Jeezy. I ain't gonna lie to you. What?
Yeah, Jeezy be snapping.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so 21 Savage, y'all saying 21. He is not
the best rapper alive.
He's not even.
Stop it.
Alive is a huge.
Whoever dropped that article and whoever did that for him, man, y'all need to holler at us, man. We need it. We best podcast in the world ever.
Might as well say that I'm the best producer alive, nigga. Hey, you talking about?
Ever.
So is it the Drake effect? Is it more of the, you get whenever it's Drake, it's like automatically times 10 that it's up. So
it's that level of influence. Like 21 obviously has a level of influence on.
That's fact. No, we can't. Yeah, that's not even debate. He definitely got influence.
So when we think about Wayne, now you remember Thomas said alive in 22. Oh, okay. Now 21 Savage manager, that's my boy. I went to high school with Meezy. You know what I'm saying? So Meezy is a good businessman. Like we have to think about influence on the culture.
In 22.
So right, I saw that too.
2022, he was the best rapper alive.
That influence and that I'm trying to make it make sense. Like I want to be like, where did they get from?
First of all, 21 Savage is a transplant. He's from the fucking UK.
They say from the UK. Now that was crazy. Right? When I heard that boy was in the
ice. Is that boy even supposed to be here? Let's answer those questions.
They said the nigga had an ice hole. That's for Mexicans. I'm not gonna lie. When you hear, like, especially down here in Texas, when you hear somebody locked up and they got an ice hole, that's a Mexican. They about to send that boy back to Mexico, or it might be somebody, a scammer that they about to send back to Africa or Russia, some shit like that. But those are rare.
Yeah.
But the ice hole Mexican, that's every day. They catch the boys come across that boy every day, all the time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So when I heard he had an ice hole, I'm just like, what? And then they said he was born in the UK. This guy doesn't give me UK vibes at all.
No, he doesn't. And
I wonder, does he have about the UK?
Well, because British actors always love to come to America and play us. So I wonder, does he really have a
I ain't
British
gonna lie.
accent?
I want to do that shit. They need to put me up in Top Boy.
You gonna be in
taking a piss, mate.
Boy, hell no.
That shit sounds Scottish.
British.
I know. I said that. Shit
you want to
be
from the UK?
No, I'm from the UK. Man.
Well, Scotland is in the UK.
It is in the UK. I'm talking about London.
I'm good on you.
And they actor program or whatever they do over there is off the chain, because I didn't even know that the All-American dude was from over there until I heard him in the interview, and I'm like,
man,
I think they send them. They go to a place in Los Angeles though. They all go to this one place in LA. And I don't know the place. We gotta look it up. Maybe we tell y'all on the edit, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they all go to this one place.
To acting school, one acting school.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Some type of academy or somewhere.
Straight up,
They snapping though. They snapping.
I could be Top Boy, hell yeah. Could do that shit.
Right, bruv.
Anyway, okay. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the next segment, guys. So, why they keep playing, we're still trying to understand. So, the recent story that has just been developing over the past week with Tyree Nichols and the Black officers in Memphis who brutally beat him to death, and now a lot of things have just been coming out. The officers were fired immediately. And a lot of people just have a lot of mixed feelings about it. And I just kind of want to talk about it because we do want to shed light on it. And I do want to honor Tyree because he did not deserve that. And he did actually He was a wonderful creator, father, and he definitely deserved better than that. So what I wanted to go into, I wanted to play this clip. So Jason Whitlock, he has gone on record to say some just crazy things basically about, so whenever a Black man loses his life, we're trying to understand why is that, the video of his death is just played all over social media. The news is playing it. And I just feel like it's just so disrespectful to the family. But I don't know. It's just a lot of horrific things that have been happening. So I just kind of want to talk about it and see what you guys feel about the situation.
I mean,
with the officers being Black, especially
beating another Black guy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not knowing the situation entirely, and just on the outside looking in, like I'm, it's sad. Like I don't know what that is, man.
Yeah. So the all the officers were Black. So they were on video showing the officers were holding Tyree, and the one officer was just punching on him. He's just punching on him, and this system, people are saying, like white supremacy. You're supposed to the system still exists within the police. The police are racist. That system exists within them. So it doesn't matter if you're Black or white. If you're a police officer, I got a side eye for you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I've always been about cops, but because I was doing bad shit. But listen, that's neither here nor there. But even in today, it's like, a lot of my friends, a lot of dudes my age, and they got kids that's coming up, and it's they scared as hell bringing their kids up in this world with how the law's doing people, but the law's been doing us like this for years. You know what I mean? Like I was literally just watching that Judas and the Black Messiah, looking at them young dudes in Chicago. They got young leaders like Fred Hampton and these guys like that. They young as hell, 21, 20, 19 years old, leading all these people. And they were so mindful, back then, and so aware at a young age. And I felt like, the America, or maybe the police in that certain area, just felt they was a threat, because when you got young Black dudes that's that smart and they ain't really on no bullshit, they really just about uplifting the community. I don't know. I feel like they see that as a threat. And because, these dudes, you got to think about it. The FBI was targeting 19 and 20-year-old kids that were Black Panthers, that were educated, that were enlightened, that were articulate, all these great things, you know what I'm saying? And they targeted these dudes, you know what I mean?
So what was the stop about? Like, why did they even pull up on this dude? What was the reason for them to even like?
I mean, from the movie, looked like, because they try to make it seem like he was trying to overthrow the government, or like trying to get people together.
No, she's talking about Tyree.
Yeah, Tyree. Like what?
Yeah, not the movie. So he was out walking, and I guess they were trying to stop him. I don't know exactly what for, but you know how like they be stopping and frisking people, right, or like, hey, where you going? Or you just doing some little bullshit to try to rough you up a little bit. And they were saying he was resisting, or he was saying like, I'm innocent. Yeah. Like, what are y'all harassing me for? That whole situation. And then it turned into the officers beating him up because they jumped him. And I saw the video unwillingly, just because it came on my timeline and it was just horrible. But they were literally holding him and beating him. It looked like gang violence.
They said, that's what I said too. Thomas Allen just said he was driving. They said he was driving recklessly. I like what Rich Culture is talking about. See, his comments seem like they are alluding to some of my thoughts that I've had initially, and I just want to
like it's a cult, basically, like the officers are doing the dirty work of others.
I want to be careful with it because this is my image at the same time. I don't want to ruin it before I get off. Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. But anybody who know that I'm still looking into it. Now, I did watch the videos. I checked out a little bit of it on CNN with the parents in response to that. And just similar to Trayvon, you know what I'm saying? Just the impact that it had on our people. And then, like you mentioned earlier, Monet, was the officers were brothers. Like, they look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact
24 to 32 years old was their age range.
My
you are a young Black man. What are you thinking?
As an officer, like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, you know.
It's deep.
We wasn't there. We just could read a report and see what was. I mean, yeah, that video.
Yeah, but we're not gonna play it.
I don't want to see it. I'm just saying, but
right.
But what led to that, we don't really know. But it got to be some, you know, just being a human being, and then you being a Black officer doing that to another Black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
aggressively
crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a little over the top, man. You know what I mean? It's like you would think, you know, with all the police brutality and all these different type of things going on in the world and that we've seen and that's been televised, and you know, they would kind of like maybe take a step back or find another way to settle that situation. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
5 of y'all though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why I gotta do the dude like that? You know what I mean? But see, them type of dudes though too, you know, you can tell when somebody tries to really what's the word I want to look for? Like, they
overcompensate for,
not
like,
overcompensate, but they, you know, they use that role of authority and they abuse it. And you know, people like that, you could just, you know, you could just maybe, you know, you could tell, like, coming up, like, you know, it was a lot of.
And then on top of that, not to cut you out, bro, but on top of that, they were fired immediately. Now we have to think about other races that done did that to our people, how they what suspended, or you know, they don't get
administrative leave.
Right. So we have to, I'm looking at all of that. Now I'm gonna say this real quick, and it my speculation can't help but see that's Rich on what I'm saying. He's saying what I want to say without saying it.
Rich,
when you think about when you I seen unpopular in videos speak about the Trayvon Martin and how Trayvon was a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice ritual wrapped around that situation. Now, I'm just now, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with it. I'm an open-minded person. I always consider those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't crazy cuckoo out my mind, but I'll be like, okay, let me hear this thought process out. Let me see what his thought process could go. And just based on my personal research and my personal findings over time, we know that politics and entertainment they all work together. So you look at Gangsta Boo, right? Then you look at where the music is going. Like, it's going back to the Memphis. It's the light is slowly shining. Well, it has been, but the light is on Memphis now for their sound, their artists coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have Glow, you got Pooh, you got all these Memphis artists, and now this, like my brother R word over here. I ain't gonna repeat it, but y'all see what it say down here. You got these occurrences that happen on such a grand level that provides a shock value to the Black community, and then in this particular city, and then you have these officers that are brothers doing this to a innocent dude that just wasn't minding his business. That was minding his business. Then I looked at the interview and I'm like, okay, let me see how distraught the parents are, because if I had a son that just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that the mother wasn't composed, but you have this thing out there called crisis actors, and you have situations. I know Rich know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to get into all that weird stuff because y'all probably like, what, Tahoe on some other shit.
No, we do. And we are on some other shit. So that's why I be like, I'm on that stuff too, though. I really be
I don't put it
about, you can't put you cannot put anything past anybody, and they do hide a lot of things in plain sight and expect for us to overlook them or think that it's so outlandish or crazy that it couldn't happen when it's actually happening. So
them folk probably could got paid.
Trust me.
They probably could got paid off. Mr. Nichols could have been a sacrifice for the parents. Who I'm trying to understand I'm trying to understand the background of the parents, because then when I found out, as far as Trayvon, that his father was a 33rd degree Mason, you know, you have to think about what all that shit encompasses. Like when you think about political and civil matters, and just all of that is tied into one. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Memphis is on the spotlight, as you can see, for a lot of things now. And
that's true.
And
that
simultaneously, Atlanta is now. We got the state of emergency situation. You know what I mean? That were enforced in Atlanta due to protest, and they put in what they putting down there, the police training system or some type of
they're basically
school or something.
Yes, they're trying to get all of these people in to start going over these modules and these trainings for like these government practices. Like it's crazy.
It's wild. First of all, we got the CDC down here in Atlanta, and then now they're gonna add I had wrote it down what it is, Public Safety Training Center.
Yes.
And I guess protest in the city, is that what's going on? And Manuel got killed because he was protesting, and you know, I was out that night. It was quiet on my side of town. I was down in the city at a single release party, enjoying my life, having a good old time. Then my cousin texted me like, be safe. I'm like, what's going on? She was like, it's a protest, explosions and fires. I'm like, what in the world is going on, bro? Like, I didn't see none of that at all. But the fact that
a lot of propaganda getting pushed too, but I don't know. It should be weird too.
The elections are coming up 2024.
Yeah.
So a lot of crazy things are starting to happen leading up to it. And I think we definitely, what you mentioned about the whole situation in Memphis definitely does highlight something for me. And it kind of just sparked thinking, because if you're like, okay, we have to get rid of all of the old Memphis to give birth to this new Memphis. So when we're thinking about what led to Young Dolph, and we still I don't even know if there was ever
they're still trying to twist story.
We even know who the killer ever really was.
Killer tied to Yo Gotti, brother, all kind of stuff, man. You know, we don't know if none of that's true or all of it's true.
And then with the post about people saying all the Gucci artists been jammed up. You know,
but that's true though. It's not even articles like I mean, like I'm talking about Rick Squad. It's like and they're not even. It'd be like so crazy weird charges. Like what?
It is weird.
I don't know. I gotta.
I'm trying.
Yeah, antennas are up.
And this ain't even the Gucci that we knew.
Right.
Now, this the new.
He don't even support none of his artists that's locked up. But it's like, damn, is that all he gonna do is support locked up artists? Because it seems like that's all he got.
Well, yeah, that's all he got. And they're even saying like Pooh Shiesty, Gucci is calling for an investigation because Pooh Shiesty has been being mistreated while he's inside.
Oh man.
He's been on they be saying like 23-hour lockdown, not 23-hour.
23
yeah, it's 23 hours with one. Yeah. And that's weird. That's crazy.
And he's like they're giving him food trays with nothing on it. Just basically treating him like shit.
Wow.
So I don't know. I hope Pooh Shiesty is definitely.
Now we know that when Gucci went in for that minute, came out a whole new Gucci now.
Nice. We still don't know what's going on.
I think that ain't Gucci, man. That ain't my
Gucci. Everybody think it's a clone.
I do too. I don't think it's the real. That ain't the real Gucci.
Why do y'all think Gucci is a clone, man? The
because,
dude just evolved,
man, man. If you go, there's videos of like the tattoo placement. I'm for real, like the ice cream cone had melted, and they was like, that ain't the real Gucci, man. It was like someone right. Like I'm telling
even
you.
with his music, bro.
Bricks Gucci.
Even with his music, like his flow, like I still listen to old Gucci. Like I still listen to Mr. Zone 6 mixtape, all the old like street Gucci. His cadence,
them Burr Prince.
Yeah, those mixtapes.
Okay.
His flow is not, and even though his lifestyle has changed, like your cadence don't change. Like you're a bit, like your flow shouldn't get so remedial. And like Gucci had a flow on him, bro.
Yeah,
and like he had some versatility before he went in. Now, and the first day out when he came out with that slow ass ABC rap, that
y'all knew instantly.
You ain't like that first day out Gucci. You ain't like that.
The beat was hard, the song was hard, but as you know, some of the other songs, I was like,
negative.
I don't know.
Listen, the Gucci, I don't know. At this point, I'm just gonna let that rest because I don't believe it, and I don't think I ever will see it in my eyes. I'll never see it that way again. So did you see Beyonce in Dubai?
I saw clips of it.
I saw the clips too. I saw the clips too, but I'm saying the clips was on point. Beyonce is Beyonce. I tried to.
They're gonna drop that bag for B.
30. They said it was the equivalent to like 35 million, but the show was good. Vocals on point. Mm-hmm. Beyonce is the boss B. Period. I was like, this is
shout out to one of H-Town's finest.
You know what I'm saying?
She's Southside representative. You know what I mean?
She is getting it done.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So this is everyone's favorite portion of the show. Random questions with Joe. So we gonna get into this thing real quick. We got some random questions for you, Tahoe. All right.
Oh shoot!
I know it ain't gonna be nothing too crazy.
It was in the people. We had to run a couple of them by the producer. And we had to, kind of X them questions out.
He was trying to ask some crazy stuff. I was like, I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I was like, don't be asking her them questions.
Now, all right, here we go. So who's a better producer? Kanye West or Dr. Dre?
Kanye.
Okay. I said that pretty quick. All right,
you was on Dr. Dre.
Here go the second one. Who's the best rapper producer of all time?
Oh, that's an open-ended. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest producer rapper.
I wish I had the Jeopardy beat playing.
Producer rapper. Oh, snap.
You know what I'm saying?
Of all time, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to hear this answer from a producer. You know what I mean? You
see, I'm.
Somebody says Scarface, DJ Quick. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a tough one, Joe. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, that's a really good question because it's so vast.
Yeah.
And damn, I can only.
You gotta really start thinking about producers that can actually rap. That was pretty good. They could do both.
Because Dr. Dre, he wasn't really rapping.
Because see, Rich and them, they naming folk. I know DJ Quick, Scarface. I don't know who Chad Butler is.
What?
You don't know who Chad Butler is? The pimp?
Right. Come on, man. Pimp C, man.
See?
The pimp,
that's his real name?
Yeah, Pimp C is Chad Butler.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I like somebody on for that.
That's our dude.
Pimp Chad.
You know what I'm saying?
Producer, rapper. Ooh.
Yes. Definitely up there.
Yeah, T-Pain hard too though.
Yeah.
T-Pain
that's definitely a good one.
T-Pain is
T-Pain ran it up. But boys really sleep about T-Pain.
Nah, for real. On that rapper producer shit.
So here go the last one, Tahoe. Tell me one recent trend that you can't stand.
Shit like that.
I'm gonna say TikTok altogether, nigga.
Oh, just the TikTok that whole
shit.
trend, the whole
TikTok
give
and
it to you
everything
quick right now. Boom, boom, yeah. It was
Tick
another thing to kind of be like TikTok. What was that other app?
Vine.
And
Yeah.
Triller and all that. Yeah, Vine.
Yeah, they just
Vine was the shit though. But
Yeah,
TikTok,
Vine.
I don't even have TikTok on my
Yeah.
phone. You
I
see
don't
all the
use it.
videos anyway. You don't even need the damn app.
Right. That's the annoying part. That's why I said TikTok immediately to my mind. TikTok altogether, bro. Because why are we I understand the younger generation, but why are we at our age, our grown ass age? All them, I don't even know how to dance like that. Them little moves and all that, like
yeah.
And we gotta mimic folk be on their phone. How many times you recording this shit to get it to line up?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like my mind can't. I can't like the challenges and all that weird shit. It's just weird as hell to me. Like,
you giving people need something to do, I guess. And my thing is though, you're absolutely right, but the videos be the same. It be like the same soundbite, and the different people are doing the same shit in the video. It's like
that's what I'm saying.
Y'all not even doing anything different. Y'all literally are doing the same thing.
And going out of your way to do what somebody else is doing, like on purpose, and posting it.
Yeah,
that's just
I mean, maybe that's the evolution, guys. You know, maybe that's what we're evolving to.
Copy and paste.
People.
Copy and paste. I'm not with that shit. I'm sorry.
I never did like copy and paste. You know, not only the lingo, but the actual copying and pasting,
literal of it,
style, strategy, anything.
Yeah,
just lacks originality, and I mean, it's whack.
It's creating this follower type syndrome. Like, some of us too grown, and then the fact that they try to force it on us to business owners and brands in order for your shit to go viral or get noticed. You got to jump on what's trending and jump. Like, what you talking about? Like, hell no.
No hey way. Man, we set the trends. You know what I'm saying? Like you get it in. You gotta. I stand by this, and I will always stand by this, and that's why our brand is on some other shit, because we fuck with people who on some other shit, like who are making their own ways, like creating their own flow and their own style, and they're not just doing what everybody else is doing. You know, and not saying that you can be 100% original all the time, because in this life it's very difficult, but honing your own, you know, your own style and flavor and making it your own is the difference. So like I agree. Like TikTok and all that shit is very annoying. Like you're just hopping on the same wave that everybody else is on and hoping that your shit catch fire when you really just doing the same thing.
Doing the same jump. I don't know what that is, but I think I seen a news article about them trying to ban it over here now.
Yeah,
like, again, it's back on the table. It's back on the table again.
Something else gonna come up, so it don't even really matter.
No,
right?
they're saying that basically China is using it as a way to
hypnoptize us.
Get into the minds of people, which it is.
It is.
But I
was doing that shit at their job. I don't even give a damn.
Motherfuckers is at the drive-through. TikToking, they in Subway,
whatever that shit is. I don't even know how to do it.
Them hip
Let's do a TikTok.
No, folks losing their jobs over TikTok. Like, let's talk about that shit.
No, look.
They are.
Well, no, see, because that ain't TikTok. That's OnlyFans. Because I was seeing this one thing about that that lady officer. She got a little OnlyFans. She was like called like
milk, something milk.
Yeah,
dirty milk or something.
Yeah, or filthy something.
Filthy milk.
Filthy milk or something like that. Hey, now listen, this girl this is a law. She's a law, but I don't know if she got fired or I think she quit. She quit her job
because she got exposed.
No, she's making $27,000 a month on OnlyFans. Oh yeah, on OnlyFans. Oh, Filthy Milk was getting it in. You tripping? Oh yeah, she was getting that bread.
What's that? She was running it up then.
Oh, she was getting that bread.
Hey, that's her creativity. She kept it playing in the original. I can respect that. Yeah.
She's like, what am I doing this shoot 'em up bang bang for? Like,
facts.
You know.
But what I want y'all to be mindful of these applications and stuff like that, when we're talking about security, whenever it asks you to authorize your camera and your microphone, that they can go in at any time and access that.
Access and abstract.
So even on your like laptops,
allow once.
What? Oh, allow once. It depends. I don't know the exact setting.
I don't never always allow nothing.
But
right, yeah, because now they asking us as app is asking to track.
Yeah.
Nope.
And all them cookies, now they getting out of control. That cookie shit.
I don't accept no cookies.
All the cooking, now they make you have to go in on the back end and switch it off. Like that's
right. Like, it's a setup. Y'all be careful, man, for real. Like take your extra precautions. I mean, yes, we're constantly under surveillance, but don't give them permission to observe you under those circumstances.
The only cookies I accept are Celine's Fine Things. You know what I'm saying?
You get me?
Y'all better get down with it, H-Town, man. And on that note, man, hey, this all some other shit. It's your boy Joe Prophet. I got the lovely Monet Banks.
Yeah. Oh, let people know what I'm saying.
I'm finna let her do that.
All right,
man. We're giving you opinions back with facts, straight like that, man. Before we get out of here, hey, Kyle, tell us where we can find you, how they get in touch with you, man, how they stick with you, man. Let them know.
Hey, man, y'all know what's going on. It's your girl Tahoe 404 in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Real A-Town junk, man. You know what I'm saying? You can find me on all platforms, on Tahoe 404, on everything. That's how that was going on, man. Tap in with you and that.
We didn't even talk about your grills though, man. You know what I'm saying? They gotta tap in with the grills. Like where they get the grills at the 404?
You can DM me. Shout out to A-Town Grills. You can go on A-Town Grills. A-Town.grills with a Z. Okay. Instagram. Or you can hit me directly. Tahoe Does Grills. That's my Instagram page. Yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah. Already, you know what I'm saying?
Man, we appreciate you, Tahoe, man. Y'all know what to do,
man. I love
y'all,
man.
You know what I'm saying? You know we love you.
We appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Tahoe, he was really jealous. He was really jealous of my hoodie. You know what I'm saying?
When it came in, I'm gonna have to send you one.
Hey, I thought it was gonna be a large in that package. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna talk about it another time. You feel me? We gonna talk about that another time. You know. So
peace, y'all.